So we have the organic question. Identify the chiral and achiral molecules in each of the following pairs of the compounds. Okay. So we have a set of the pair of the organic compounds, and we need to figure out that what are the chiral and achiral compounds. Okay. So the prerequisite to do this question is your class 11th. Okay. In the class 11th you studied that what is the representation of the organic molecules, okay, how the organic molecules are basically represented. Okay, so basically we use the representation that is known as the wedge and dash representation. Okay, so quickly if I remind you what is the wedge and dash representation. Okay, so you can understand that in order to draw the molecule, right, any organic molecule, the atoms are arranged in the 3D space. Okay, so if the atoms are arranged in the 3D space, then definitely one atom will be in the plane. Okay, and another will be the above the plane, and some different will be the below the plane, right? So that kind of the situation we usually face whenever we draw the organic molecules. Okay, so if you talk about this tetrahedral species, that is the methane molecule. So in this molecule we have this, okay, four different hydrogen atoms, and these hydrogens are, one is these two are in plane, whereas these two different hydrogens, okay, these two square, these square hydrogens, they are basically, one is below the plane and this is above the plane. All right, this is your above the plane, so that is known as the wedge and dash representation that you studied in the class 11th. So if that is also the case of the stereochemistry. Okay, so if you want to represent the atoms in the below the plane, so you use the dash, and in order to represent the atoms above the plane, you use the wedge. Okay, so that is the wedge and dash representation. But here we have the question. The question is that on the chirality. Okay, the question is on the chirality of the compounds. Okay, so remember that what is the chiral carbon? The chiral carbon is basically that carbon which is associated with four different valencies, right? Means it will have all the four different valencies completed with the four different groups. Okay, these four different groups can be the any alkyl groups, okay, halogen, or any kind of the different atoms, but you need to say that these are the different hydrogen, different atoms. Okay, so if the molecule, if the carbon is attached with four different four different units, then you will say that it is the chiral carbon. And if the one of the two valencies of the carbon is by the that, so we will write here the, we will write, okay, so let's see what is the first question. So in the first question we have the two different, okay, this is the one and this is the second case. Okay, so here you can see that this is your chiral carbon, this is the carbon. Okay, so central carbon. So let's see, one hydrogen. Okay, so all these four different units are different, so you can say that this is your chiral carbon. Okay, this is your chiral. Okay, but let's see what about this second. In this pair you can see that this carbon is associated with these two bromine. Okay, so this is counter this fact. Okay, so this is the achiral center. Okay, this is not the chiral center. Now let's see the second question. In the second question you can see that this is the, okay, that's the carbon. So this carbon is basically having the one valencies from the hydrogen, second is the from the hydroxyl, and third is from the methyl groups. Okay, and the fourth valency you can see here that this is the, you have the CH2. Okay, so you can see that this carbon, this carbon is basically having the 4 different connectivity. Okay, so you will say that this is your chiral carbon, right? But if you see here, this carbon, okay, let's see, one valency is from the hydrogen, second is from the OH, but these, these have the, that is the CH2, and this is also the CH2. Okay, so this is your achiral center. Why? Because its two valencies are the same. Okay, two different. Okay, so that's your achiral. Now let's see the third one. So if you see the third, so this is the carbon that we need to understand. So this carbon is attached with the bromine. Okay, and then the hydrogen. Okay, and then hydrogen, right? So, and what about this? We have, this is the, just a minute. Okay, so in this case, you can see that this is the first one. Okay, the first one, this carbon is connected with 4 different groups, that is the bromine, hydrogen, carbon. Okay, carbon, and this CH3 group. Okay, and this all are different. Okay, but in the second case, you can see that this carbon, okay, this is again connected with CH2. Okay, so that's how we will assign. So that's your chiral carbon, and this is your achiral. Okay, so that's how we do this question on the basis of the chirality. Okay, so thank you.